and welcome if you are joining us. I am Frankie, and this is the Spirit Tribe Tea Talk Show, and we're so excited that you joined us. I'm going to be here with all of my, you see us all, 6 co-hosts, and we are going to talk about everything spiritual and metaphysical on the show. We will host this show the second Wednesday of every month. It'll be 4:30 Arizona time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we hope you join us, and also it will be recorded so you can listen to it whenever you have a chance. I want to tell you a little bit about a little bit of kindness and how we kind of got to the show. A little bit of kindness is a heart-centered spiritual wellness community dedicated to connection and building community. So we're all about community and connection, and that's what prompted us to start this show. We want to involve like-minded friends like all of you out there to join us, to ask questions during the show, to tell us what you want to hear about, what you're interested in. We're going to talk about everything spiritual and metaphysical. So we might be talking about meditation one show, energy healing, readings, mediumship. We're also going to talk about online events and workshops that we have with all of the great guest teachers we'll be bringing on and special show guests. So we're rooted in light and authenticity and love, and we're here to offer you a safe space to join us. So we want to introduce ourselves this first show. So we're going to go around and we're going to tell you our story, how we got here and how we all got to be together. So want to drop a few things. We're going to do a few things. And at the end of the show, we have a surprise giveaway. So if you stay till the end, we've got something we're going to give away. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. So make sure that you stay tuned and watch till the end of the show. Okay. So I'm going to start off. My name is Frankie, and I am the proprietor, the gatherer of all of these great people together to start a little bit of kindness. And my journey started in my 20s. I took all kinds of classes for metaphysical, and I went to Lilydale, New York. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. And I took, it was called healing and energy healing. So we learned mediumship and we did healing energy. And I did 2 weekends of that in my early 20s. And I really enjoyed that and learned a lot. And that kind of sparked my interest. And so then from there, a friend gifted me my first deck of tarot cards. And I always think it's really special to get gifted your first deck of tarot cards or oracle cards. They kind of have a special meaning when that happens. And I could just look at the picture book and read from the pictures. But my friend, she was a really good reader. So she could naturally read things. And I was always kind of envious and wanted to be just like her, right? But, life takes hold, and I'm probably a lifelong learner. So throughout my whole life, I've taken all kinds of different classes and workshops. So I took a class on essential oils all day. That was really fun. I've taken Meet Your Spirit Guide class, how to meet your archangels, you name it. And I've probably taken a class on it over the years. And I continue to take classes and learn. And that was part of this journey. So besides taking the classes, I decided that I would go to Omega. And if you haven't been to Omega in Rhinebeck, New York, it's another great campus I highly recommend. It's about 12 hours from Ohio, but it's way up in New York. And it's a campus where you can go for CEUs. So if you're a doctor or a nurse, you can go and get continuing education credits. It has a campus with a lake, just similar to Lilydale. You can go stay for the night. There's a gift shop. There's a cafeteria that's vegetarian. And I went for a 4-day class with Rachel Pollack and Mary Greer, and it was all about reading tarot cards. And I was so excited because I'm going to take a class and I'm going to learn all about reading tarot cards, and this is going to be it, right? So I had a great time on the campus. I spent all week there, met all kinds of interesting people. And I also took a Doreen Virtue certification class to be an angel card reader because I love angels and working with the angels. So between that and taking all of these classes, I kept seeing this same theme throughout everything about trusting your intuition, trusting what spirit's telling you. I call it spirit. You might call it God, higher power, goddess, if you believe that. So whatever you connect with as your higher power, and trusting your intuition was all about instead of just the physical meaning of the cards, and yes, the cards do have a physical meaning, it was more about trusting the message that you were getting at that time. And I'm sure on one of the shows we'll talk about the clairs and about intuition, and we're going to talk about mediumship. So we'll go more into that if you're unfamiliar. So make sure you stay tuned. But it was more about just trusting that message you were getting rather than the physical card and what the meaning was of it. So I relate it to, did you ever go to the store? And I always say this story to people is I go to the store and something in my head kept saying butter, you need butter, you need butter. And I'm like, I don't need butter. It's not on my list. I'm not getting butter, right? And when I go home, what's the one thing that I really needed? Butter. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this in a different way, right? So it's trusting that intuition, trusting that message. And I think we all doubt that. And so my biggest fear with becoming a reader for the public was like, I don't know if I'm good enough, right? I think we all think that in the back of our mind. Am I good enough? I don't really trust what I'm giving the message. So it was overcoming that fear. And that's really what I want to encourage all of you is to work on overcoming that fear. And that's what we're here for. That's what the workshops and classes are for, to move forward. Trust that what you're getting or what you're feeling, trusting those feelings too. Like a lot of us go do things and you felt like you should have done something different, but you didn't, because our mind is really easy, right, to take over and justify what we should be doing. Or people around us, say something. And so we're worried about what they're going to think. Okay. So on this show, we're going to encourage you to use a positive mindset, be independent thinker, and trust your intuition that's coming to you. And I'll give an example besides the butter is, as I started to read for people, I'll use this as an example. Like I got a message of, I see yellow and spirit's talking to me, and you might hear things, you might see things, you might feel things. There's a lot of different clairs or ways you get messages, or all of us get messages. And so yellow may not mean anything to me, but the person I'm reading for, I'm thinking, and a lot of times, a lot of us will start and go like, I'm not going to say that. That doesn't mean anything, right? But yellow to them, if I mention I'm seeing the color yellow, might have been a really special color for them and maybe their grandmother. Maybe they love sunflowers. She loved yellow. And that person starts to like cry because that has a significant meaning to them. So it's trusting that intuition is meant for you to give that message to them. It's not for us to question it. It's just for us to relay that message and trust that intuition. And that's how you kind of build the confidence to do readings in public and practicing with friends. So we're going to talk all about that in different shows. And so I started reading for people, and I started this journey 3 years ago. My kids all moved out and I was an empty nester and kind of thinking, what am I going to do? And I always said I wanted to go somewhere warm. I love Sedona, Arizona. I wanted to go and meet community. I wanted to meet people who are like-minded, who like these spiritual practices. I love going away to those retreats, right? And so along my journey, I mapped out all these places to stop and visit. And I just wasn't finding the community that I was looking for as I was traveling around. And my one daughter said to me, Mom, you create community wherever you go. You connect with people. Why don't you just start your own? And so that began the journey 2 years ago when I bought the property in Arizona, and we started a little bit of kindness. And that is how I met all of these amazing ladies that are here today, and so many more other people that we're going to be introducing you to over time as guests on our show. And they have so many great gifts to share, so much knowledge to share with you. And I'm so excited to have them. I feel so lucky for them to be part of this. And we decided that when we get together once a month for dinner and we have a great time, we call it the tribe, because we've bonded, because we're like-minded and we come together in a safe space to share things, that we were going to start the show. And we're encouraging all of you, if you have questions, there is no dumb question. There isn't anything that you can't bring up. We would love to hear what's going on with you. And so if something's been going on that you're like, oh, I can't tell anybody about that, maybe you're hearing things, you're seeing things you have since you were little, this is a safe space to come and discuss it. So I welcome you to our show. We will be doing this again, like I said, once a month. And if you have comments, I think we're going to put the comment bar up. I'll put that up now. please drop in any comments that you have. If you have questions, please stop us and ask any questions. We're super excited to have you here today. And I am going to go ahead and pass the next torch over to our next co-host, which is going to be Miss Shannon. So let me bring Miss Shannon on here for you guys. All right. Let me see. There you are. Okay. Welcome, Shannon.
Oh, thank you. Good morning. That was a fabulous introduction. I would like to just say ditto because a lot of it is similar, except for I'm not from Ohio. So anyway, my name is Shannon. And when I was trying to figure out what to write, I think, and what to say to everybody is we're all eternal students, okay, of the spiritual type. And my journey has always been rooted in service to others, whether it was as an office manager, whether a marketing director, nursing, scuba instructor, veteran, and so forth. It's always been in service to others. And each role has deepened my understanding of what it means to support others in their healing and transformation. And you might not think that some of those things involve healing and transformation, but every little step, every little path that you take is going to help in that spiritual evolution for people and for yourself. So I never quite fit into any one formal religion. And there was always a quiet knowing that there was more. I just didn't know what more was or where I was going to see it. So I had some friends and I would tag along with them and I would check out what they were into, and it just never fit. Well, fast forward to when I'm a native of Arizona, and when I moved back home, I had the lovely experience of being able to work with my best friend, and that was Danelle, of which she'll introduce herself here in a little bit. But that started it all for me. Danelle was able to see things in a way that I never could. And so she kind of gently guided me in different directions at different times along my path to be able to open myself up and understand where and what I needed to be looking into. So with that, introductions came about to a mentor of mine, and which led to education through for mediumship, just understanding, just like the path that you may be on, of learning the different types of ways that spirit can come into your life, or how you want to learn more about yourself. And when I went to Camp Chesterfield, as Danelle says, and she's right, she sees a totally different view of me when we get there. I'm home. So it's a knowing, it's an understanding, and it's definitely tuning in to your inner self. So I still study at Camp Chesterfield. I'm still studying with these beautiful people here that I am fortunate enough that I have been surrounded by. And it has allowed a safe space for me as well to continue to be able to speak out like my friends said that I should. And I am going to interject this funny little story because if I don't, they'll be a little bit upset. But Frankie talked about how she came to Arizona, opened up her place, and started a little bit of kindness. And Danelle always said, we're supposed to be doing something together. We're supposed to be doing something together. And so Kendra, Danelle, and I, you're going to meet these beautiful people, came together. And I said, okay, well, this is what we really should be doing. And I laid it out with the different things. And they're like, yes, that's great. So Frankie sets up this retreat. And Kendra is our retreat queen, along with Frankie. And she's like, they're okay. And then it's getting closer to time, and they realize that I have not submitted my info for the retreat. And Danelle said a few choice words and said, oh, no, if I'm going to be there, she's going to be there. We will make sure her stuff is there. So that's another part of where that started. Um, so with that, as Frankie said, there's a lot of different ways to reach out and touch people and to be able to assist. We don't know what it is for us on all levels. That's where coming together in community helps us all. So I encourage you. I will be doing classes on natural law because I really enjoy that, and human design, and how within human design, which is a blueprint of your life coming into this world, using astrology as well, just as a little teaser. It gives you the blueprint of what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. And we all have that question. What is our purpose? Well, we have all these tools to be able to help you with that purpose, and we want to share that with you. So that's me. And so
can I say one thing? Yes. So can I mention that you're going to be doing a workshop, and we have all these workshops online. So you can join online from the comfort of your own home, wear your pajamas, and you can find all of the links at alittlebitkindness.org. And we have that running in the ticker down there. But it's called Natural Law. What is it? And it's going to be on June 25th. From 6 p.m. to 7:30. And I think the cost is $25. So if you want to learn more about the natural laws and what those are, be sure to check out the website, because Shannon's going to be offering a class, and it's really very interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. So, all right.
Right.
Thank you.
With that, on that teaser, in case somebody wants to know, when you think about it, natural law does not change. Okay. We change based on our environment and how we are conditioned in that environment. So with this class, it helps you open your mind and gives you a forum to be able to understand how you perceive all this information, so that you can adjust and align yourself to become your true potential. That's what I would like to help you do. Thanks, Frankie. Take it away.
All right, ladies. So let's see. I'm going to run over and I'm going to pop on Miss Natalie. You ready, Miss Natalie? Here we go. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie. I am so excited to be part of the show with these amazing, knowledgeable women. I'm an elementary school teacher, and I truly love my job. But like many of us, I struggle with the work-life balance, especially after my kids grew up, they moved out. I recently became an empty nester, and that transition left me searching for something more, something just for me. And that's when, so I dove into my yoga practice, hiking in our community, getting back into just natural healing. And that's when I rediscovered yoga, and I started doing yoga classes. And one day my yoga teacher invited me to a class at A Little Bit of Kindness. And everything changed. I found a supportive, uplifting community, a space that reconnected me with myself. I started attending every Sunday, they would have a meditation circle and a healing circle. And I would go to those, and that's where I met most of these amazing women. And I was working at the psychic fair. I would greet customers at the door and schedule their readings. And yeah, that's how I found A Little Bit of Kindness. And now I'm on my path to becoming a yoga teacher. And I've completed my Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 level trainings. And I'm drawn to the healing arts. So I'm learning a lot about that. And I'm here because I want to support others. I want to help people find their own version of balance, how to manage stress, how to reconnect with who they are becoming. And the Veiled Cottage Witch is here. She said, hello, beautiful people.
Hi, Joey.
And we have AD here. Happy.
Hello, Joey.
Welcome, baby.
So, yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to dive in and learn more about the healing arts and just bring peace to the lives of those around me.
Well, Natalie, I think you do. And we feel, we just love your energy. And I think that kindergarten teacher energy just really it crosses through everything that you do with your gentle and kind spirit. And we love having you around. And we can't wait till you start teaching yoga classes. So we're excited for that too. So
thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's go on. All right, Miss Val, are you ready to be center stage? Here we go.
I am ready. Thank you so much. Thanks, Natalie. Thanks, everyone who's already spoken, and to everyone who's about to speak. You guys are amazing. I am always in awe of you and your presence and the way that you show up. I know that you make everything brighter, and this is wonderful. And you're here, you're watching, you're listening to us today, and we really appreciate having you as part of our channel. Because if you're not here, then we don't really exist. We're just talking, screaming in the dark, right? So thank you so much for hanging out with us, because we really appreciate having you. And don't go anywhere, because we've got a really special surprise coming up at the end of the show today. So hang out with us and stand by, because we will tell you what that is coming up pretty soon. Like they said, my name is Valerie. I have been doing some sort of healing modality or spiritual modality as long as I can remember. I just didn't have language for it. I didn't really understand what it was I was doing and how I was showing up in the world. And I think a lot of us can find that is kind of how this all begins for us, right? You walk into a room and you can feel everyone's energy, and it's more than just everyone's faces or how they appear to us. We sort of develop these skills, some of us as a survival mechanism, some of us navigating really complicated things and ideas. And when I was a child, I moved a lot. So I was always the new kid, always the kid in the classroom. Everyone's staring at me, meet Valerie, and I was the center of attention in a way that I didn't want to be. And then trying to fit in with people and trying to decide who is a person that was safe, who was a person that might not be my friend or might turn on me later. These were a lot of the things I was constantly navigating, and I became sharper at that. And I had the advantage of a beautiful, amazing woman in my life, my grandmother. And she was a seeker as well. She read a book called The Third Eye by Lobsang Rampa, and she'd picked up a copy of this in the South Pacific once when she was over there with my grandfather, who was stationed there. And it changed her life. And it opened up doors and ideas for her that she never quite shook. And so she was a constant seeker, and she handed me books on mediumship that she'd read, and books on past lives, and books on so many things. So not only was I able to have a conversation with someone who not only understood what was going on, but was a seeker herself, and a safe space to really unpack all of these things. My grandmother is a constant companion to me to this day. She's on the other side, and she has helped me as I've unlocked some of my gifts of mediumship. I have found some incredible teachers and mentors who I am completely indebted to. And I feel that this is never a destination. I always feel this is a journey for us. No matter what modality it is we're trying to parse, whatever we're trying to figure out, I feel like we will eventually align and find our tribes. And this is a tribe that I cannot speak highly enough about, because I always feel at home, and I always feel like we're supporting each other. And so if you are here with us, you're here with us because you are meant to be part of us, and to listen to our messages and understand, because you're probably navigating some things as well. You're probably scratching your head and questioning. And if you've ever said the words, this is going to sound crazy, but to us, it doesn't really sound crazy. I read a book of a similar title, and we'll talk about that coming up in a little bit too. So hang on for that. But there's a lot to be said for coming together with like-minded folks who not only support you, but hear you and see you and help you grow. A few years ago, I was fortunate enough to wander into a little shop, and I met an amazing tarot reader named Joey, who said, have you ever taken a tarot class? And I hadn't, and it was on my list of things to do. And she unlocked things for me in the most amazing way. And I was so excited to be able to really dive into this and really learn about this. and really understand more about it. So I read tarot. I'm a practicing, studying medium, and I am sharing those things with others. And I find so much value in the coming together and the joining of our gifts. I have, of course, a long list of things I still want to learn. I want to learn more about healing, and I want to learn more about other healing modalities, and really the structure and the process of grieving and how we show up for each other. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell and an encapsulation. And I'm, again, very grateful for you because you're here with us today. And we hope you'll kind of make an appointment and show up with us when we do this. When we're trying to go live, and you can always watch our replays as well. And I just want to remind you one more time, don't forget, at the end of the show, we've got something very special for you. So hang out with us. We'll tell you what that is coming up in a little while.
Great. Thanks, Val. I just love it. So I want to hear more about mediumship, and I know that's going to be a topic, and it's also going to be one of the blog topics coming up on our website as well, a little bit of kindness.org. So I just want to throw this out, ladies. So let's go back to the whole group here. So when we were picking this name, and maybe some of you can interject, we were at that weekend retreat we did and so just throw out some comments about how we came up with this idea and how we were all just sitting there, and what was the comment that we heard from the participants when they were there.
Yeah, so that's really how it kind of came about. Is we were doing the retreat, and we called it the Reconnect, Recharge, and Rejuvenate retreat. And then as time went on, it was only 3 days, but as time went on, it seemed to evolve to where we just called it the Wellness Retreat, because we had the workshops and the yoga and the meditation, and we had the readers and the massage. We had all of the things for the retreat, which was absolutely wonderful. And then one of the participants at the retreat, who has become a dear friend of ours as well, she said, this was perfect. She was visiting from California. She was considering moving. And she said, I've been looking for my tribe. And we just kind of, that clicked. We were like, yes, this is our tribe. Yes. This is our people. And, then I think when we decided she was the one who brought it up, like, let's get to dinner. Let's go to dinner once a month. So we started trying to do a once a month dinner after the retreat. And I think when I put the group chat in the phone, I just clicked with the name. I just started calling it the Spirit Tribe. So, and then I don't know who else remembers how we ended up with Tea Talk.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Natalie.
I have to just say, this is proof that you end up right where you're supposed to be, because I couldn't make it to the retreat. I signed up, I was coming, and a last minute obligation came up and I couldn't come. But then I started going to, I think we're talking about the dinners with these women, and here I am right where I'm supposed to be.
I'm always the more the merrier. So you know me, I'm always like, come on, why don't you come to the dinner? Like, come and meet these great people.
Frankie invited me.
Yeah, you're going to have something in common. And and I mean, Shannon and Danelle were there. I mean, the night we were out by the fire that night of the retreat, and we saw, what was the stick bug or something?
A walking stick. We saw a walking stick.
So it was just an amazing night under the stars. And
Shannon is the one who looks up the spiritual meaning to everything on her phone, like as soon as we find it. So she there looked it up, and she was like, oh, this is what it means. It was amazing.
Yeah. So it's just so much fun when you're with a group, because everybody brings something different to the table. And I always talk about, like, go ahead. No.
I'm gonna add on to that because it's part of the story. So that person, one of the people that was there that saw the walking stick, had signed up with me for a reading, and prior that same day, early in the day, I had a commitment that I had to take care of. But I was outside and I happened to look, and it was like a Quonset hut building, like on post, the siding and stuff. Okay, so I looked down there, and I saw two together walking sticks on the same morning before I was supposed to give her reading. So that was that was pretty interesting. So it's another it was another
confirmation
message from Spirit that I needed to add into the message that I was giving her that afternoon. So
Awesome.
it's funny how it works. So that's.
I love it. I love when those synchronicities happen, right? So, and as we talk about things, I'm always going to say, and we say this in all the classes that we teach, is like, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if there's something that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Even if you take, I've been to many classes where the teacher said, even if you just take one thing from this class that resonated with you, and make it your own, right? Danelle, what you say, like making things your own, kind of putting a twist on it, like.
You have to make it your own. You always have to make it your own, because one of the things that I learned when I was doing different classes was everybody receives differently. So you can't have this picture of, okay, this is how she reads, this is how she receives. It doesn't work that way. So you have to take what is for you and leave the rest. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And make it your own. So I think that's the
Definitely.
most important. Like, we could have many, and I know a few of us are healers, and we'll probably talk about healing on one of the show and the different ways we all approach it. But just because you learn one particular way, you know, make it your own, make it special. Oh, I think Angel joined on. Hello, Angel. Mark, how are you? Thanks for joining us. So, perfect. Yeah. So it's all about making it your own. And Angel's a healer too. And I'm sure we'll have him on one of the shows. He's got some great things. He always would do the opening ceremony at our psychic festivals. That was really awesome. So, and AD said 3 in one day. That is not an accident. So, yeah. So nothing's a coincidence. What did they say?
Right.
Like when you do a shamanic journey, it's with the spirit animal. If you see a spirit, an animal, or a symbol, a same picture of the animal 3 times, like you better look that up because that means something, right? So,
Right.
and Angel said, doing well. Good to be here. We're so glad you guys joined. So, all right. Well, let's continue on with telling us how you got here. So I think we're going to go to Miss Danelle. All right, let me move you over to the main screen.
Hi there.
There we go.
Well, my journey started pretty young. I started when I was little, and I had some experiences and feelings that I didn't understand. I was brought up with religion, so I learned that some of the things that I was experiencing wasn't necessarily positive, which they were. I just didn't understand it then. I mean, you think of, 4, 5, 6, seeing
That's young.
things, hearing things, feeling things. It was confusing. So I really didn't have anywhere to go or anybody to talk to regarding that. And then I became after that painfully shy, very shy, was afraid to even say hello because I thought, well, I'm a bad person. Something's wrong with me. And it wasn't. Even in my teens, I tried to shut it down, but I wasn't really able to shut it down because I was feeling everybody else's energy. I could walk into a room and know who was upset, sad, happy. Even if their expression was different, I could feel the energy coming towards me that was real. After a while, I started thinking, what's wrong with me? This is all me. And I was picking up that energy thinking I was crazy. Something is really off. I don't know what this is. And it gives you a lot of anxiety and thinking, how do you build confidence when you feel like you're different, crazy? Now, once I got to know people, they saw that I was a very, I don't know, loud. I guess I wasn't loud, but happy-go-lucky person. But it took a lot. It was kind of like what Valerie said. It was like, are they safe? Are they going to use something against me? Because again, if you're feeling somebody's energy and they're being very sweet, but yet that energy coming towards you is not so sweet, you don't really know what to trust. Eventually, I started coming into myself and realizing there was something more. I could feel angelic energy, God energy. I could feel things. I knew there was somebody helping me from the other side. Even when I was little, I could feel my uncle who had passed before um, we were even born. I could feel his energy in my grandma's house, and I didn't understand it. It was a good energy, but I felt like he was talking to me. Well, he was. So I guess after I had kind of it was a large loss, is when I really, really started opening up. The loss, it was tragic for me and of course my family, but I could feel loved ones around me supporting me. I could feel our little Seth around me and know it was him. I eventually learned the reasons why he had to go, and it was to awaken me spiritually. After that, it was on. It was on. Nothing was going to stop me. I didn't care who thought I was crazy, wackadoo. I didn't care. I was going to go for it and find out what is going on. Finding out that you are an empath, and there's several different types of empaths, but finding out you're an empath and learning that you are kind of normal, you're just picking up everybody's energy. It's not all yours. And learning how to, hone that in, bringing in your auric field to where you're not picking up everybody else's. Now, I'm still a little crazy, but not spiritually. Spiritually, I'm good to go. Um, so with all the classes I did, we went to, well, as Shannon said, Camp Chesterfield in Indiana. It's a spiritual college. Um, we did several classes. We have a local mentor that kind of got us started. We were just really asking for some help, and she eventually tried to get us to, she kicked us in the butt to try to get us to fly a little. And so we explored different things. I did Reiki several years ago, but when I was doing Reiki, I started getting messages for the person. And with Reiki, it's very traditional, beautiful um, healing that you're really not supposed to talk, not the way I was taught. So felt like some of these messages should be shared because there's a lot of emotional things. Um, Sometimes it was a loved one, even though I don't like to call myself a medium. I convinced myself, well, I'm not a medium, but as soon as I did that, somebody's loved one, their name came right in, and boom, it was like, you're a medium. I just don't like to say that because I think I didn't want that expectation of what a medium looks like. It's not the TV at all time type medium. But I found a modality through, it was called Angel Reiki. Kendra and I took the class together, and it was basically bringing in angelic energy, which I already felt, and healing with that. And through that, when I was going through people's chakras, I was getting messages and being able to feel. Mark said we're all a bit crazy, right? So here comes the tribe, right? So yeah. So which it comes to now, I mean, I'm really, really happy to be here, even though I did it kicking and screaming. This is really, really, really out of my comfort zone. But if it helps one person, because I think a lot of our experiences that we go through that we think are crazy or scary are because we're going to help somebody else. There's a reason we experience some of that. And we're going to be able to hike people through and do that. So even now with some of the sessions, that's one of the main things when I'm doing energy work and messages are coming through. I'm learning a lot. Well, one, they're probably going to be doing the work because I don't know why that's happening, but I'm getting that a lot lately. But two, those experiences wasn't because they're a bad person. They needed to experience that because it was going to propel them forward to be able to help somebody else. So that's exciting to see that all those things that I went through, I was recognizing it in other people, and that I really truly appreciated, and all the synchronicities and meeting everybody and having Kendra and Shannon put up with my crazy spiritual stuff that we all, we're still trying to learn. So I'm happy to be here. I hope that you get something out of this, even if it's just from one of us. I may not be everybody's cup of tea. Cup of tea, tea talk.
Cup of
Crack
tea.
myself
Okay,
up.
everyone has some tea.
Right.
And we're having coffee mugs made up, tea mugs. So if you want to get those, we'll have those on the website. But next time we'll have our Spirit Tribe Tea Talk Show, teacups, and you can join us with a cup of tea next time.
Yes, thank you, Frankie.
All right, thank you. And so I wanted to touch on base as when you're describing things, you're describing a little bit of what an empath is. So we're going to talk more about that. And I think you're going to present a workshop online through the website that you can join in. So can you just touch on that really briefly about just give a brief description of what an empath is? I'm sure we'll talk more about that. And then just touch on what your class will be about.
Well, an empath, there's different types of empaths, but I deal a lot with emotional issues. I can feel the emotions of people and what may be going on. I've been able to feel what addiction they may have. I can feel sometimes, like when I met Shannon, even Kendra, I knew that there was a spiritual connection that I couldn't explain to them, but I knew, okay, this is one of my people. So it's almost like a knowing, feeling things, seeing things. It's how do you describe an empath without doing a whole course on it? But
No.
basically, for myself, it was picking up on the emotions of other people and knowing what some of their fears were, or some of the things that they could do to correct it.
And okay, let's just throw this out. And Jerry and Joey said, same here. That's why she bails, protection. How many of us, do we see all of us on the screen, feel like they are part empath or empath with receiving messages, with feeling things that other people do? And so a lot of people do, and some more than others. So I feel a lot like Danelle. Like I can walk into a room and I tend to feel whatever, but that's when I do readings, I'm feeling what people are doing more than necessarily reading that. So are there classes in Phoenix? So we moved everything Kingman to online right now. So we are doing online, but we are hoping as we build our community to be going to do retreats 4 times a year, where you'll get to come and meet all of us in a really fun location with workshops and all kinds of events together. And Mark shared that he is also an empath. So, so we'll talk more about that. But
so I just wanted to jump in on that too, because I have experience with, Danelle being an empath, and it taught me, my oldest son is an empath, and my mom is an empath. And I told Danelle, I'm not an empath. Well, she said, you kind of are. So that's when she told me, and this is part of, I think, what she'll talk about in her workshop, was she told me that there's different kinds of empaths. So what I see that happens, like with my mom and my oldest son and with Danelle, is different than what I experience. And so I think that's the key. Like I think a lot of us, or many of us, have empathic abilities and tendencies. We just may not recognize them.
No. Okay. No, I agree. So this is a good way to explore it. And if you want to learn more about that, Danelle's workshop would be awesome. I don't think we picked the date, but we'll keep you posted with that. So absolutely. All right. So let's go on to Miss Kendra. I'm not effing. No.
Yes. Not effing crazy.
Crazy.
So my name is Kendra, and I, like Frankie, again, I want to say ditto, kind of like Shannon did, which is like Frankie, I started in my 20s. And so about 30 something years ago, I started really diving into it. I mean, I had some experiences in my younger days, but again, I really didn't know what those were, what it meant. And so I started getting into things like, yoga. I got some books on yoga, and I did a painting class, an abstract spiritual painting class. And that's really where I connected, I think, to some loved ones from the other side. And I was always interested in everything. So again, like Frankie, I took classes on everything. I love crystals. I love essential oils. I love astrology. I love, mysticism and dream work and, spirit animals and all of the things. Like there is just so much that I couldn't, and chakras, I couldn't all put that into one. And then in 2017, I took a personal development course, what I thought was a personal development course for myself, which was to become a yoga instructor. And it was a 200-hour yoga teacher training class at the Yoga Connection in Tucson, Arizona. I highly recommend them. But it became more of a spiritual learning class for me. It turns out I did like teaching yoga too, but I went on to take the advanced version of that because in our basic class book, which is the spiritual science of Kriya Yoga, and this is from a person who's in the direct lineage of Yogananda. So it meant a lot to me. It had history, and in this book, it had all of those things, right? It talked about bringing all of this together, the chakras, the oils, the astrology, the dreams, the crystals and gemstones. All of that comes together in one. And it was that was where my awakening really started. But I describe myself often as a sprinter, not a marathon runner. So I will get interested in something for a minute, and then I'm on to something else. And so I do find it interesting because a lot of times I will come back to things. And that is where we ended up here with this tribe, which is again, we all end up in the place that we're meant to be, which is why you're all here, which is why we're here. We're meant to be here for this conversation. And I wrote a book. I'm an author. And so I was promoting my book at a local psychic fair at the mall. And Danelle and I shared a table. She was promoting her stuff. I was promoting mine. Right. And Frankie ended up right behind us. So I'd never met Frankie. Right. Frankie ended up right behind us. And so she's doing Reiki healings and tarot card readings. And of course, I became a Reiki practitioner in 2013. So for traditional Reiki. And so it's just how we're all linked together. How did we meet? How did we come together? It was really amazing.
I had to laugh because you guys, after I was doing Reiki on someone in the chair and you guys were right behind me, he left and you guys all turned to me and they're like, thank you for that Reiki.
Right, we all got
it. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. And then, so where I think my mediumship stuff has really started coming into play has been when I took the Angel Reiki certification, as Danelle mentioned, from Julie Jancis, who founded Angels and Awakening. And so that is kind of, for me, when I do an energy healing session, I do a lot of the traditional Reiki treatments, but what I describe the difference is that I get messages. I get messages from what I refer to as your spirit team and my spirit team. That can be God, universe, source, spirit, whatever you call. But I believe your spirit team is also made up of your ancestors, spirit guides, and just a lot of angels who want to help us throughout our lives to become better people, or to work on situations that we have going on. So anyway, that's kind of where I ended up. And then Frankie was sitting behind us, so we became friends and got involved with a little bit of kindness. And pretty soon we did the retreat, and then we ended up really all bonding and creating this tribe. And I do want to mention that this is a live show, and obviously today we're doing our big long introductions, but when we do this once a month, it's going to be a lot more fun. And because we do want it to be like when we get together for our dinners and we just ramble back and forth and we're like, oh, hey, what about this? And what about this? Also, I'm blessed to have these people in my life, and I am still learning. I'm forever a student of spirituality. That's actually in my bio on my book. So it's interesting that we're all saying that. And Shannon hit the nail on the head when she said, basically everybody is. I lost my train of thought. See, there it goes, just like that.
Okay.
That was it. Thank you for laughing, Val, because that was it. I got blessed with a little mini lesson yesterday. I kind of took a mini class on tarot card reading and oracle cards yesterday. And so all these people who've come into my life, I'm still learning, and we hope that you guys can learn something and share in our fun. And it's a safe space to say whatever you think, because you're not effing crazy.
No, you're not.
So in the comments, we're looking for ideas for July and August shows. So if there's topics you'd like to have us touch on, a book, a great author, a person you know who's in the spiritual world or metaphysical world, put that in the comments right now and give us some suggestions of what you'd like to see in July and August show, because we want this to be interactive. So if there's things that you are interested in, we certainly are interested in too, probably, because we all love learning. So we would love to have guests. We're going to start introducing guests and talking about that. Thank you, Ms. Kendra. You are going to be one of the main topics. We usually have 3 topics for the show. So next month, you're going to be doing the topic. And you're going to be talking about? You didn't happen to bring the book. I should have told you to bring the book.
I usually have one right here.
All right.
It's across the room.
Okay, that's okay.
I have hundreds. You're right, Danelle. I have hundreds. But it's across the room. Oh, look at Danelle. Danelle's got it.
Here, I'll bring it up. So Kendra wrote this book. Tell us, you're going to talk next month and tell us about the book. You want to just give a quick little brief thing about it?
Sure. It's basically what we've all been saying in this conversation. And all of us have this experience, which is we are talking about things that are metaphysical and spiritual. And when Val said, have you ever started a conversation that says, I know this sounds crazy, that's how this book came to be. I had some experiences that even through my meditations and my trainings were wackadoo to me. And I kept saying, like, even for me, this is crazy. And one day Danelle says, you are not freaking crazy. And so that became the title of the book. And I felt called to write a book about my experiences. I used some of my journaling because when I went through a medical crisis, I had journaling. It was part of my recovery. And so I share my story in the book, and I ask a lot of questions. Like, when you're saying, where did I leave my keys? Who are you asking? Because if you're asking yourself, wouldn't yourself already know the answer to that? So, I mean, that's really how the book came to be, is I wanted everybody to release their fear of judgment. We're here. This is Tea Talk. We're talking over our tea or wine or whatever you're drinking, and we're talking because we want to release the fear of release the fear of judgment, and this is a safe space. So if you have a question or a comment, like, that's what this is about. So I'll be sharing more about my book next month. Thanks, Danelle.
And where can they get the book if they want to read it before you talk about it next month?
Oh, thanks, Frankie. Any of the retailers, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, my publisher, balboapress.com. And I have my own website. It's NOTFCKINGCRAZY.com. And but by email, they can email the link, the email address, and we'll give them the link. But yeah,
it's also available on audiobook, by the way.
Oh.
Thank you, Val.
Yes. That's how I read it. I read it on audiobook.
Okay.
I love audiobooks. So yes, thank you.
All right. So that's great. So that's going to be one of the topics. Our other topic next month is going to be what is a medium and mediumship, and Val's going to be talking about that. So if you have questions, and we've mentioned mediumship, that's going to be one of the topic next month. So make sure that you're joining in to learn about that. And at this time, Val, do you want to pull a card for the day? Let's give a message today.
I do. I am going to be pulling from the Woodland Wardens deck. It's not a deck that I use very often. And when I spoke to Kendra yesterday, we were talking about you don't have to know a deck very well, and you don't have to read the book necessarily. Those are little pieces that you can augment your reads with, but using your intuition and your instincts is the route that you want to go when you're doing this kind of a practice. And this is what a lot of us do. And this is what I just pulled right here. This one is called The Duck and the Chrysanthemum. You see this beautiful, fabulous picture. Now, underneath is a little word luck. Okay. Now, I love how this duck is spreading his wings and he's kind of looking a little bit back behind him. So basically, this is kind of our tribe together. And it's almost as if our tribe is in front of this duck and we're all together. And you can imagine maybe the wings encompass the tribe together, maybe pulling us all together in a hug in a way. So to me, this is saying in a lot of ways, this is more than just a card. This is really all of us coming together in kind of a safe space, like I said before, in love and also in healing together. So it isn't luck. Maybe it's fate. Maybe it is luck. Maybe it's serendipity. Whatever it is, we're all here today. I want to remind you one more time, don't go anywhere because coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be telling you that little special gift that we've got. So we'll talk about that in a few.
Awesome. Thank you, Val. Okay. Shannon is going to be doing a workshop next week, but she's also going to be talking about the laws, right? Nature's laws. So on the show next month? Okay.
Yes, that one is going to be an introduction to universal law. Correct. Next month.
Perfect. And Miss Shannon, do you want to pull a crystal for the show today? What is the crystal you need to see or know about?
Here's the thing. Which one of you lovely people, Danelle, I know you do, because mine is in my pants pocket, of which is in another room. So hold up your quartz crystal, your rose quartz.
Rose quartz.
So,
oh my gosh, this is what's near. Here, hold my beer.
We're so excited there.
Is that a beer koozie? A rose quartz beer koozie?
So I thought about it when I was doing. Yeah, thanks, Danelle. You got all of us, man. Way to carry the group. So when I was meditating this morning on the different topics that we were going to be talking about, and the different people that were involved, and what it took us to get here, in listening to everybody and the desire in their heart and what they wanted to convey, what they were bringing to the table and why, I drew rose quartz. And rose quartz involves emotional healing. It involves love and it involves compassion. And that's what we needed today. Okay, we all needed to be reminded that we need to have compassion for ourselves. We all know we need to bring a higher vibration of love and healing and light. And that's what we're also designed to be coming forth to do. And we hope that we can do that in our own special way to each of you. And it will be different for each and every person. But as you are receiving that love and healing energy and light from us, we are also receiving it from knowing that we get to talk to somebody and reach somebody somewhere, somehow. So it is designed to help remind you to keep that heart chakra open, to heal that heart chakra, to help you bring forth your most balanced and highest level of love that you can bring, so that you can continue to reach out and touch somebody. And don't forget, a small smile, a word, a glance in somebody's direction can provide that healing. So I am grateful to the ladies that are here today, and I'm grateful for you all. And I'm grateful that I went ahead and took that one small step, because the light bulb in me is going to help the array that we have to help out into the world, as cheesy as that may sound. Love you. Rose quartz.
Oh, I love that, the array. I love that.
Yeah, everyone hold your rose quartz up. Some have raw rose quartz, some have polished. And let's just take a minute to send all of our watchers some rose quartz loving energy. So we're going to send you guys, if you want, accept this energy, we're going to send you just a few seconds of some healing, loving rose quartz energy. Oh, getting huge goosebumps, you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Lots of good energy. Okay.
My
Soak in that
palms
energy.
are hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we will leave you with that healing rose quartz energy. Thank you, Shannon, for that. And let's go. Natalie, do you have a good affirmation that we're all going to say together? What's the affirmation?
I do. I have an affirmation. I have an affirmation, and it's I am thankful for what I have and excited about what is yet to come. So let's all just say that together one time. Let me repeat it so everybody knows what it is, because I said it really fast. So I'll repeat it and then we'll all say it again together. I am thankful for what I have and excited about what is yet to come. Okay, let's say it together. I am
thankful for what
I have
and
excited
about
what's to come.
what is yet
to come.
Yay!
And I just want to invite you to being grateful and thankful is so important in our daily lives. It'll truly change your life. If you're feeling sad, if you're fighting with thoughts, even if you're not, just writing every day 3 things, every evening, every morning, whenever you have time, 3 things that you are thankful for, it can really change your perspective.
Yes, that's excellent.
Yes, I love that.
Me too. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. Okay, so just a couple of things I want to share. If you haven't gone to our website, alittlebitofkindness.org, please go sign up. If you didn't subscribe to our YouTube channel and you love the show, please subscribe. We would love to see you subscribe. Kendra, I think, what do you say? Subscribe and something with the button.
Something about subscribe and click the bell so that you get notified whenever we're doing a new show. Like everybody always points up to the magic bell.
Pointing to, we don't know where the bell is, but it's somewhere.
It could be there. You know where the bell is. Find the bell. Click it.
And we also did our first online psychic fair. We did 10-minute readings for $20 through the website again. And we're going to do that the second Friday of every month. So we have 3 readers that are going to be on next month's. It's the 13th, I think, of June. So second Friday of the month, look and sign up for tickets if you would like a 10-minute in-depth reading with a reader personally. Val will be doing some mediumship or cards. I may be doing readings. We have Robert. We have a lot of great readers. Kendra reads. So look for that. Also, I'm doing a meditation on Sunday. If it's free, you just need to go on the website and sign in, or a love donation. It is 4 p.m. Arizona time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be about a 20-minute meditation. This time, I believe I picked an I am, so go to the website for that. We also do energy healing. So if you want to do a healing circle, last month I did shamanic Reiki for about a half hour. And if you want to do the healing, that's free again. Go to the website, click and just RSVP. It's Saturday, May 24th at 9 a.m. Arizona time, noon Eastern Standard. And we decided if you really like the show and you would like to join part of our tribe, or we're going to call it the Kindness Community Chat Group. It's going to be a safe space. We're going to be monitoring it. One of us will be on there. And it's somewhere where you can come and it's going to be positive. We're going to talk about something positive that's going on with you. We're going to be uplifting. So if you're having a bad day, you need some support. Sometimes you just need somebody or like-minded energy. Come. It's going to be RSVP through the website, Kindness Community Chat. It's going to be the 3rd Monday of every month at 4:30 Arizona time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So come join a group, community group, where you can come in a safe place and we can talk about all kinds of positivity and uplift your vibration and your spirit through that. So lots of good things coming, guys. Workshops, so please check out the website. We're excited for the topics for next month. So we will be live again next month, the second Wednesday of the month at 4:30 Arizona time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as I always say, we're going to give away the gift. Don't worry, I didn't forget. But
I was going to say,
sprinkle a little kindness before you go. I'm trying to remember to say everything I wanted to say. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to give away a free reading. And it's going to be a private reading via Zoom. We can schedule the time. If you are interested, what number? Who pick a number? Which, if you put your email in the comments, we are taking the third comment with your email, and you will be having a free reading. And so it can be from me, could be from Val, could be from Kendra. So if you'd like a free reading, drop your email in the comments, and the third person will be gifted a reading. We will be happy to schedule that for you. So, all right, ladies.
Frankie, you said pick a number, and I thought the number 3, but I wasn't sure where you were going with that. And then you said the third person to put their email in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, what if what if they don't want their email to be on the comments?
I don't think it'll be unless I share it. I have to kind of share it.
Oh, okay. That's good information.
I've been clicking and sharing them as they come, and then taking them off so we're not so small on the screen. So we're going to give that away, and we may give away other gifts throughout the show. So stay tuned for next month's show. I don't know, ladies, this was a lot of fun. Anything you want to add? Or
I didn't get my ice cream.
That's at Dickie's. That's for dinner.
Dickie's barbecue.
Hey, Frankie, is there an email address that people can use if they've got a question about something? Maybe they want us to dig into something a little bit more.
Yes. So I am going to, right before when we sign off here, I'm going to go ahead and throw our contact information. So if you stay tuned, if you want to contact any of us for personal readings, healings, we'll be doing more of that. You're welcome to do that. You can also reach out through the website, alittlebitofkindness.org, and contact if you're interested in having any kind of healing modality with Danelle, Kendra. Valerie does readings. Shannon does human design and other readings. I do readings. You can also book things on the website. So thank you, Val, for reminding me that. So.
And now read the comments, because this is so true. And like my mind just went, oh, duh. So someone wrote, no one will go first if you're looking for number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking for number 1 then, if anybody wants one. And these might be all of our friends who do readings. So they're kind of like, we don't need a reading. But I guarantee you, someone's going to send me a comment when they watch the replay and be like, I want the reading, because I always get this comment. And I'll be like, this wasn't the live. This is a recording. So it's kind of too late. So, okay. So
the first person to send their email on the
first
comments.
person to send their email. I think that's Miss Amy. So if Miss
and
Amy
it won't be shared.
Yeah, we won't share it. But if you send it to me, I will go ahead and post that. So, and I will post all of our contact information. We are so grateful, honored, blessed, namaste that you joined us today. And we can't wait to see you next month. And if you have comments, suggestions, you can also email them through the website and let us know if you want to have a topic or a guest speaker or anybody on. We would love to get your feedback. So thank you for joining us today. And I hope you have the most amazing evening. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
See
you
you
so
later.
much.
And we're back.
Okay. I think I've got to end the live stream.